Today I want to talk about Zenless Zone Zero version 2.5, specifically the free rewards, and more importantly, why so many people came out of the live stream feeling confused, disappointed, or even misled. If you watched the stream, checked social media, or just saw screenshots floating around, you probably noticed the same thing a lot of players did. There were a lot of big rewards shown on screen at the same time. Free characters, free skins, polychromes, selectors, W engines, all bundled together visually, and depending on how closely you were paying attention, it was very easy to walk away thinking everything shown was free. So in this video, I want to do 3 things very clearly. If you want to save up to 23% on your Zenless Zone Zero top-ups, check out lootbar.gg. Right now, Lootbar has a 2.4 limited 6,480 polychrome pack for only $76, while it's $100 in-game. So on Lootbar, you're saving $24. I just entered my UID, picked my server, no password needed. And just like that, the monochromes appeared on my account. And look, I still got the first-time double bonus, same as with the in-game top-up. Lootbar has over 20,000 positive reviews on Trustpilot and more than 90,000 positive user reviews across Hoyoverse games. I've been using it for over a year now, even for my giveaways, so I can personally recommend it. New users also get an extra 10% off coupon, so click the link in the description and start saving today. First, I'll explain what you actually get for free in version 2.5. Second, I'll explain what is tied to spending and why the wording caused confusion. And third, I want to put this into context using how Hoyoverse has handled similar events in the past, so you can set realistic expectations instead of reacting emotionally in the moment. By the end of this video, you should know exactly what you're getting without spending, what requires money, and whether any of it is worth engaging with at all. Now let's start with what is genuinely free, because there are real free rewards in 2.5, and they're not small. First, Zhao. Zhao is an S-rank ice defense agent, and yes, she is actually free. You log in during the event period, and you get her. There's no spending requirement attached to that reward. This is similar to how Zenless Zone Zero has handled certain high-profile celebration rewards before, and it also lines up with how other Hoyoverse games occasionally give out a strong character during major milestones or awards. This one is straightforward. Log in, claim Zhao, she's yours. Alongside that, there's the Jane Doe outfit, Nocturne of Light. That skin is also free. Again, no spending requirement, no top-up condition. You play during the version period, complete the basic steps required to claim it, and you get the outfit. For players who care about cosmetics, this is a solid reward, and it's easy to miss how good it is because of everything else happening around it. Then there's the polychrome situation, which is where things start to blend together visually, but not mechanically. Zenless Zone Zero is giving out 1,000 polychromes through in-game mail as a thank you reward tied to winning the Grand Award at the PlayStation Partner Awards 2025. This is not tied to spending. You log in after the specified date, and the polychromes show up in your mail. On top of that, there are additional smaller polychrome rewards from pre-registration and version login bonuses. None of these require money. They are simply there for showing up and playing during the event window. So at this point, if we stop here, the free rewards are already meaningful. A free S-rank agent, a free outfit, and a decent amount of premium currency. That alone would normally be enough for most players to feel good about a version update. But this is where the confusion begins. During the live stream and in the promotional images, these free rewards were shown alongside something called the Film Goer Thank You Gift event. Visually, everything was presented together. Same screen, same frame, same celebratory tone. And the wording used was "join the event" or "participate in the event," which sounds harmless on the surface. The problem is that in Hoyoverse language, join the event does not always mean play more or log in more. Very often, it means spend money during a limited time period. In this case, the Film Goer Thank You Gift is a top-up event. That means your progress in the event is tied to how much you spend, usually through buying monochrome or paid passes. As you spend more, you unlock more tiers of rewards. The S-Rank Agent Selector, where you choose 1 out of 9 standard S-rank agents, is tied to this spending event. The S-rank W engine selector, where you choose 1 out of 9 standard S-rank W engines, is also tied to this spending event. These are not free rewards. There is no way to unlock them without spending real money during the event period. This is why you saw so many players online saying they felt baited, not because the rewards themselves are bad, but because the presentation made it very easy to assume everything was free if you weren't already familiar with how these systems work. If you've played Honkai Star Rail, this should feel familiar. That game has run very similar selector events where the rewards look generous, but the real value is locked behind spending thresholds. Zenlesszonezero is following that same pattern here. There's no secret twist, it's not new. But if ZZZ is your first Hoyoverse game, or if you skipped previous spending events, the confusion makes sense. Now, one question that keeps coming up is how much this event will actually cost. As of now, exact spending tiers haven't been fully detailed publicly. Based on historical patterns from other Hoyoverse games, especially Honkai Star Rail, it's reasonable to expect that reaching the S-rank selector tier will require a noticeable amount of spending. Not a small purchase, not just a single pass, but something closer to what people would consider mid-range gacha spending. Until the tiers are fully shown in-game, anything more specific would be guessing, so it's better to wait before making decisions. And this is where I want to add a personal note. I don't think Hoyoverse lied, but I do think the presentation was intentionally vague. Putting free rewards and paid rewards in the same visual space creates excitement first and clarity second. That's marketing. Whether you're okay with that or not depends on your tolerance for these kinds of tactics. The important thing is knowing the difference before you spend anything. If you're free to play, you're not missing out on Zhao. You're not missing out on the Jane Doe skin. You're not missing out on the polychromes. You can enjoy version 2.5 fully without touching your wallet. The selectors are a bonus for people who are already planning to spend, not something you're being locked out of for playing normally. If you do plan to spend, then the selector rewards might actually be good value compared to random pulls, especially if you're missing specific standard agents or W engines. But that only matters if you were already comfortable spending that amount in the first place. So I'm curious what you think. Did the presentation confuse you at first? Did you assume the selector was free when you first saw the image? Or were you already expecting a spending event because you've seen this pattern before? Let me know in the comments. I think it's useful for newer players, especially to hear how others interpreted it. If you want more breakdowns like this, where we slow things down and separate what's actually happening from how it's being marketed, you can subscribe. I'll be covering more version 2.5 topics as we get closer to release, including how these rewards fit into long-term account progression. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Buy 6,480 monochromes with 2.3 limited pack for only $76 at lootbar.gg. Just enter your UID and server. The link is in the description.